Hey guys, I am back and I'm doing a video on this sainsmart jinsoku LE-1620. There's a link in the description to sainsmart's website so you can go and check this laser out. Full disclosure, they sent me this laser after I reached out to them about doing a video on it. And yeah, we're just going to hop right into it here. Right now I'm unpackaging it. You can see it was very, very well packaged. All foam inserts with everything in there. They sent you two power plug-in adapters, one European and one US. You got a USB cable. You got all the hardware as well as a couple of extra limit switches in case you have a problem with one, I guess, down the road. You also got your spacer block, and you got a flash drive that has laser gerbil as well as a Lightworks or light burn on it. You just have to pay and get your subscription. They sent you some glasses as well as a dry erase marker, but we're just going to get into the assembly here. It's pretty simple. I mean, only thing I've done before this laser was my Shapeoko, and this thing went together quick and easy. There's two bolts that holds the main gantry arm onto the main gantry. That's it. It came with good instructions, that's no lie, but I didn't even have to look at them. It was so straightforward. Worst fault I have really big hands and big fingers, and they don't like this small hardware real well, and small Allen wrenches. These 4 screws is what holds the laser module onto the gantry arm. I will tell you this much, I turned the flash on right then, so you may be able to see a little bit better, I hoped. They thread into plastic. That's what they're threading into, and I would stress, do not over tighten these. Just get them good and snug and they'll be fine. You can check them ever so often. And best thing to do is to get all 4 of them started, then go back and tighten them all 4 up. But I'm getting the laser put on here, and then we'll move on. Okay, now I'm flipping the laser over because the rest of the assembly is on the underside, or the most of it. You have to have these here little rubber pads. This is the only thing that I can say with this laser that I'm not tickled to death over. These little rubber stick-on feet or whatever aren't any count, in my opinion. They like to peel up, and then I just went ahead and I plugged up the stepper motor that is on the gantry arm, and then I'm plugging up the laser here, and we're ready to go. This was my first test. It's just sainsmart's little logo. I did try to burn this in the house. I will not recommend that. I had to open a window and put a fan near the window. Should have known, but I was just too anxious to wait until I could get out into the shop. So I went ahead and I tried it. First time I didn't have my material in the right spot, didn't have it homed in the right spot. Anyway, I missed. You can see it's burning on the, this is just an old cheap cutting board that I had, and I missed part of the top of the little sainsmart guy's head, as well as the side of his head. But it puts off a lot more smoke than I was anticipating, I will say that. But I done several tests. This is on the stock, the little pieces of MDF that they sent with the laser, and it done well. I didn't have my settings perfect on it. Now I am engraving on plywood. This is just some scrap maple plywood that I had laying around, and this burnt really well. I'm testing out my logos, my logo pattern on this here, and it done really well. This is what I want this laser for. I'm going to do smaller engravings, as well as doing my brand on the back of my products. And if you'll look real close there by the end plate that is on the actual main gantry of the laser, you can see how that little rubber tape, that's what it wants to do. It wants to peel up from each side. It's not nobody's fault. It's just where it is such a steep angle it's being bent at, it just naturally wants to peel back off. Nothing you can do about it. I have got plans to build a wasteboard with a type of riser to utilize some of the space a little better. But I'm trying out different settings on the laser. The first one was just a regular burn of my logo. Second one was an outline burn. Then this one, I really liked this one, but it took a lot longer. I inverted the image to where everything that was dark turned light and everything that was light turned dark, so it carved or burned it out the opposite of the other one, and I really liked this outcome. But I've done some other tests as well. I tested some poplar and cedar, both burn beautifully. The poplar, I wanted to check it real good and get it dialed in, because of I'm doing some charcuterie boards for a local business. You'll hear more about that on episode 2 of Making Money with a CNC. If you haven't checked out episode 1, please go do that, and just keep an eye out for episode 2 to come. Now on both of those, it done well, very well, beautiful burns. However, I did do a burn on pine, and it's my settings or my pine. The pine was a little bit sappy, so I don't think it was really dialed in for it. But I'm going to be doing some more tests on that and getting it dialed in just perfect, because that's what my noodle boards and a lot of my signs are made from, is 1x12 pine. So I'm going to be doing some more tests for that, but I am really pleased with the way this laser performed, and it just gave some beautiful burns, and it has opened up a new realm for me, and I'll talk more about it here in a minute. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm not in my workshop today. I've got orders I'm trying to get taken care of every minute that I am in the shop, which is a good thing. But I wanted to hop on here and just give you my overall thoughts on the sainsmart jinsoku LE-1620. It is a wonderful laser. It does a really good job on burning my logo into things. I've done the 3 different styles of my logo so far. I have done just the little bird, my round logo, as well as the full-on one you seen burned there just a minute ago. And I am very pleased with its performance so far. There's really nothing bad that I can say about this laser. They're the only things, and it's not really a bad point, it's just something that I think needs to be touched on. This is a small format laser. It has about I think it's 7.8 by 6.2 or 3, something there like that. It's a small work area, which if you're getting into the laser and you buy this laser, you're already aware of that. The feet, what I'm referring to, the end caps that are on the ends of the gantry, the way that they are made, the laser work area is in part of it, about half of it is in between those, what I'm referring to as feet that are on the end of the gantry. I have plans, because I do a lot of charcuterie boards anymore, seems like it. And they're something I want to stock for my craft shows and for my consignment items and such. I want to be able to laser engrave on the edge of those boards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a waste board with a riser that will the laser will attach to at the back, and it will bring up the laser. That half of the work area is behind the feet. It will bring it up to where you can slide like a 1-inch board under the feet. It will be able to slide under here, because that laser will adjust down to within 1/8 of an inch or so of the waste board. So I'm going to have it to where my workpiece can slide under the feet and allow for that to engrave on it. So I'll do a post about that, and I'll do a little short video on that when I do get that done. It's probably going to be a little ways down the road, because I do have orders I'm trying to prepare for craft shows and a lot of other irons in the fire, so to speak. But be sure to check that description for the link to the sainsmart. The only other thing is, like I was mentioning in the video, is those little rubber tape pieces. Way they go on, they're longer one direction than they are the other, and you have to wrap them up the sides of the feet. Where they are made of rubber and you have to bend them up around the sides, they want to pull themselves back off naturally, and then they flop back down. You have to stick them back up every time. That is the only two things. And I mean, if you're getting this laser, you already know about the work area being behind the feet. You can see it on the videos and on their pictures on their website very well. And honest truth, I plan on using this for coasters. I'm going to brand my items instead of having to buy a branding iron. It takes very minimal time to burn that logo on to a board. I think it took about 10 minutes or so, and while it was burning my logo onto that test piece, I was doing something else. Excuse me. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It works very, very well. I hope to be testing more of sainsmart stuff down the road. They're a really good company to work with. When I messaged them, they were very responsive. Tried to answer my questions about everything, and just a really good bunch to work with from what my experience with them so far is. But I'm going to hop off here. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're interested in more content like this, and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified if or when I put more videos out. But we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.